Well, this is new. Okay. So, I bet most of y'all do know me, but for the ones that don't, my name is Preslea Morris, and I lost my mom and brother in a car accident on March 1st. Darn it. Okay. On March 1st, 2021. And since then, I've dealt with a lot of grief, and I've gone through many hardships with friendships and relationships. And so the past almost 2 years, I've constantly prayed to God, why? Why? Why, God, did you put me through all of this? What purpose does this serve in my life? What is it you're trying to show me? I just want to understand. And so while praying for almost 2 years of praying, I began to question if God was even there. Is he even listening? Does he even hear me? Am I'm actually speaking to someone, or am I just speaking to thin air? And so then about a week and a half ago, I had what I like to call my God moment. I think it's fun to call that. And so Josh Crow was giving the Devo at FCA, and like I usually do, I was zoning in and out while someone is talking. And then it was like all of a sudden, God hit me on the back of the head and told me, hey, pay attention. You need to hear this. And Josh was giving an analogy of him when he was younger, and his mom would whistle when it was time for him to come back home. And if you gotten too far from his house, you couldn't hear the whistle, so you wouldn't know when to come back home. And then he said, you may feel like God isn't listening, but maybe it's because you're just not an earshot away from him trying to talk to you. And it was the weirdest thing ever. I had chills go down my body. I even turned to, where is she? Mikey. And I was like, I just had chills go down my entire body. Like, that was weird, but I loved it. And, okay, so there's that. Chills, the story, the thing, slap on the back of the head. And then over the 2 weeks, more than that, I've become very close with one of the girls in our youth group. And she doesn't go to Danville. She didn't know anyone when she came here for the first time. And she had been coming to Sunday school and Wednesday nights, and she's also in my small group on Wednesday nights. And one Sunday after church, I hugged her, and I said, bye, love you. And then that following Wednesday, she came up to me and after small group, and she told me, hey, I need to talk to you. I was like, okay, sure, what's up, And she began telling me how thankful she was for me, which was not what I was expecting. And she said that since she didn't go to school at Danville and she didn't know anybody, she felt like an outsider. And she told me that she felt welcome when I came up and talked to her. And that when I told her that I loved her, when I told her bye that Sunday, that it really meant a lot to her because no one had ever said that to her before, not in the context that I had said it. And she said, hold on, I lost my place. Moving on. And then she told me that she was talking to her grandma, I think, and she said that she didn't know how I did it. After everything I've gone through, how does Preslea still have a smile on her face? And she was like, she told me that whenever I'm around, she just feels like God is here and in the moment and there. And when I'm telling you she told me that, I was like, whoa, I want to fall to the ground and cry at the same time. I didn't really know how to take it. I just couldn't stop smiling. So I'm like, there's no way that I had that effect on someone. There's no way. I don't see myself as someone that, is there like that for someone. And so when she told me that, it was like whoa, I actually do matter to people. That's new. And, okay, and then the thing that really made it all clear to me was that same Wednesday night, a lot happened this Wednesday. A lot happened. Truett was preaching out of the parables in Matthew. And in our small group, he wanted us to study a few verses even deeper. And in the group I was in, we had Matthew 13, verse 44, which says, "The kingdom of heaven is like treasure, buried in a field that a man found and reburied. Then in his joy, he goes and sells everything he has and buys that field." And I highlighted it, and beside it, wait, hold on, I skipped a part. I'm the world's worst scripture interpreter. I will read scripture. I've been doing like a chapter a day. I will read it, listen to it, whatever. Won't remember a single thing I just listened to. I'll read it again. Still have no clue. I'm just like, I don't really know why I'm doing this. I just know I'm supposed to, you know? But this one came fairly easy to me, which I was not used to, obviously. And beside it, I wrote, "Sacrifice for the Lord, he is worth it." In all caps, underline, exclamation point, you know, the whole shebang. And this just gave me so much peace. I was actually finally to interpret scripture before. It was nice. And this whole thing, all the story with Josh Crow and the Devo and this girl that told me all of this, and the parable and Truett preaching, it just all gave me confirmation that all of the struggle, all of the pain, all of the hardship that I have gone through the past 2 years hasn't been for nothing, like I thought it was. You know, for the past 2 years, I was like, what the heck? Why did I go through all of this for it to not do anything? Like, I know people tell me it's for a purpose. You know, God will bring good out of it. And I was hoping, and I was waiting, and I was like, when's this good gonna come out? You know, I was like, does it take this long? And it finally came, and I was so excited. And I realized that he used me through all of this, and I will still have faith, and I have faith in him that he will continue to do so. And so basically, I'm just saying that God has promises, and he will fulfill them in his own timing, because your timing isn't always his plan. Like, if it was my timing, I would have had him told me this 2 years ago. But that's not what he wanted. He wanted me to live through it by myself, kind of, and really just see his character and let him shine through. And so just leaving you with trust in the Lord, even though it's kind of hard to sometimes. Thank you.